See, there's some things about what's going on with me and my true enlightenment factor. I don't know what you'd call it. But since this is really happening, and it's really happened to me, and it's my real life, that I have weird situations where I can almost see other possible alternate endings of every situation I go through. Like, not just imagining it, like seeing it happen. And then having it be like almost too confusing to know that if it's now, or if it wasn't now, or if that's how it's supposed to be, or just ideas and concepts. Like, Xavier's been spending a lot of time with me, but he doesn't really have anything to do. When I ask him specifically, I'll be like, give me a yes or no answer. And he just looks at me and doesn't say anything. When I just tell him specifically, I just want a yes or no, he just looks at me and says nothing. And I'm like, why would you deliberately, when I'm looking at you, talking to you, asking you to give me an answer, you still don't say anything? And while I ask him that question, he still says nothing. It's weird. So, but I know he loves me. So I wonder if there's something just deep down that is making him, and like, there's an alternate ending would be my dad and Xavier are basically trying to hold me back. And they spend time around me a lot so that they can hold me back by changing the subject when I get too excited, or showing no interest when I'm trying to explain it. I don't know, like, there's these weird outcomes in my head that I know aren't true, but it's just my head projecting them out, and I'm figuring that out as I go so I can eliminate those possible outcomes. And it's like hard to explain what I mean. Sorry about the hiccups. It's hard to explain what I mean because it's like I have to pick out and choose the negative possibilities sometimes first, and then take those out because the negative ones show up first. Like me worrying about losing the kids, it showed up first as the kids not being around, which was my most likely or apparently prevalent feeling. Like that's what feeling I felt the most. But I don't know. It's just too much stuff sometimes. I can't even put them into words. Like, I see alternate outcomes of everything, like infinite outcomes, and some of them really stick out more than others. And I don't know which way it's going to go. And I don't want to see the future. I don't want to, like, I don't know, the more I tune in and the more I pay attention to stuff like that, the more I feel like I'm really tuning in for good. And sometimes it's confusing because I don't want that to be what really happened, so I try to change it before it even gets here, and it makes me seem odd and weird even to myself. And that's too much to try to explain. There's things that I can't say to anyone because it's that difficult. So it's not the simplest thing to have this happen. And I still try to be happy and loving everyone. I don't even have to try to do that. I mean, I am happy and loving everyone because I'm them. So I get that. I'm like the only person who gets that. And that's a really hard thing to deal with. How would anyone else feel? Well, since I know that if you're listening, you're me, you feel like, wow, this is crazy. Because it is.